Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KD8VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2436 with a release date of Friday, July 5th, 2024, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Hands step up as Hurricane Beryl rips through the Caribbean. Logbook of the World is back in business. I publicly introduce you to this year's Pasternak W8VPV Hammer of the Year. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2436 comes your way right now. From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now reporting from Charleston, West Virginia, here's Jim Dameron, N8TMW. Our top story this week is the amateur radio response to a history-making storm that stirred the Caribbean. Randy Sly, W4XJ, brings us the details.
This edition of Amateur Radio Newsline finished production. Beryl had hit the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico after causing damage to the Windward Islands in the Atlantic, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands. Within the next couple of days, high winds and heavy rain were expected for South Texas as the storm was expected to turn northwest. The net manager for the hurricane net reported that nets activated for each of the storm's predicted landfalls, collecting reports from the affected areas for the National Hurricane Center in Florida. Carlos Gonzalez, CO2JC, IARU Region 2 Emergency Coordinator, reported from Cuba that communications was maintained through WhatsApp and emergency amateur radio frequencies for countries in or near the affected areas. From the very beginning, Beryl was making history. With its rampage on Monday night, Beryl became the season's earliest Category 5 storm with 165 mile-per-hour winds, the strongest July hurricane on record. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
Logbook of the World is back after being knocked out of service following a security breach at the ARRL several weeks ago. In announcing the logbook's restoration on the 1st of July in a letter to members, the ARRL gave no insights into the direct cause of the outage and offered no details of any additional security being put in place to protect against future hacking. The leak to wait a week or two before uploading particularly large files, such as those from a DXpedition, so that the system can catch up with the backlog. The ARRL said that any logs containing too many duplicates will be rejected. Additional downtimes are to be expected, according to the announcement. The ARRL will be using those times to review operations and implement improvements. LOTW users are being asked to direct their questions to the email address lotw-help@arrl.org. Southern Germany welcomed thousands of amateur radio operators to Europe's biggest gathering of amateurs, and Newsline's Ed Durant, DD5LP, was there.
With the sounds of the Zeppelin airships flying overhead, the ham radio event in Friedrichshafen ran calmly last weekend over 3 sunny days on the shores of Lake Constance in southern Germany. As usual, Europe's biggest ham gathering welcomed around 13,000 paying attendees from all over the world to the world-class facilities of the Neue Messe. 3 of the 13 Zeppelin-sized halls held traders, exhibitors and flea markets. In the conference center, presentation streams ran and private IARU meetings with national societies took place. ICOM Yesu and JVC Kenwood were there, and Flex and Elecraft had joint stands with their European distributors. There were no new radios announced at the show, But from talking to these companies, it seems that the parts shortages that they and smaller companies have faced is now becoming a thing of the past. The national regulator, BNetzA, ran license exams for the 3 classes of German amateur radio license, including the new entry class N, and were happy to give regulations advice to all. For those living in Germany, a new feature was a job market, with representation from several high-tech companies hoping to find skilled people. Friedrichshafen wouldn't be Friedrichshafen without food and drinks. As well as the large outside beer garden serving traditional pork and chicken dishes and the best beer in the world, inside there was a canteen for a variety of snacks and meals and, my favourite, several ice cream and cake stalls. This was Ed Durant's DD5LP.
Young operators attending Yoda Camp in Nova Scotia have been calling CQ from a shack named to honor the memory of Bob Heil, K9EID. We hear more from Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
If you log the call sign VE1YOTA anytime between Sunday the 7th of July and Friday the 12th, you will have the privilege of working young operators inside the newly named Bob Heil K9EID Memorial Yoda Camp Amateur Radio Shack. The Youth on the Air Camp, hosted by Radio Amateurs of Canada, is taking place in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Bob became a silent key this year, and the Youth on the Air Camp organizers are honoring him and his company, Heil Sound, for his years of generosity and support to young campers. A press release announcing the tribute to Bob recognized his support for the camp starting in 2019, its first year. The press release said, quote, regardless of what was needed for camp, Bob would never fail to send what we needed and more to use at camp. Youth on the Air will forever remember his legacy in the amateur radio community and his support for Yoda in the Americas, end quote. Campers are also scheduled for a contact with the International Space Station and will be activating a number of POTA locations, including the Georgia's Island National Historic Site on Thursday, the 11th of July. Don't miss a moment of the excitement on the Youth on the Air YouTube channel, and meanwhile, be listening for BE1YOTA. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
If you're chasing stations in the IARU HF Championship this year, you may want to pay special attention to the call sign GR2HQ, which is offering an additional challenge for chasers, as we hear from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the UK, the IARU HF Championship contest has become 2 events in one this year. The larger event is the global competition being run by the ARRL on the 13th and 14th of July. The more local event is a new awards program known as the GR2HQ Challenge, administered by the Radio Society of Great Britain. GR2HQ is the RSGB's headquarters station participating in the contest, and it comprises a dozen or so stations on the air throughout the UK and on its islands. The RSGB is encouraging individuals and clubs to work the GR2HQ stations in as many bands and modes as possible. This serves 2 purposes. It introduces a special challenge accessible even to non-contesters, and it helps boost the RSGB's standing in the Global HF Championship. According to the press release, the Society station was placed 3rd last year, and it's hoping for an even better score this time around. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The special event call sign SN91LOT is on the air this month to mark the tragic deaths of 2 pioneering Lithuanian-American aviators. The 91 in the call sign notes that 91 years have passed since their doomed transatlantic crossing. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, tells us their story.
In July of 1933, 2 Lithuanian-American aviators successfully crossed the Atlantic Ocean in a small aeroplane from New York City, bound for what was then the capital city of Lithuania. On July 17th, 2 days after their departure, the plane, known as the Lituanica, crashed 650 kilometers short of that destination. The wreckage was found in eastern Germany. The pilots, Stepanos Staresis and Stasis Gurenis, did not survive. According to several websites, it was never clear what caused the crash after the successful ocean crossing. This year, as in previous years, a special call sign is on the air through to the end of July to commemorate the aviators' doomed effort. Be listening on the HF bands, QSL via SP1 PMY. This is Jim Meacham, ZL2BHF.
Time for you to identify your station. We're the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the low-power FM station WIOH in Clinton County, Ohio, streaming live on the Internet Sundays 9:30 p.m. local time and Wednesdays 11:30 a.m. local time. The year 2030 is not so far away, and for the International Space Station, that doesn't just mean retirement, but destruction. Paul Brown, WD9GCO, tells us how it's expected to happen.
NASA's plan to deorbit the International Space Station by the year 2030 now has an active partner in the process. The U.S. Space Agency has awarded Elon Musk's SpaceX $843 million to develop a vehicle that will destroy the orbiting space laboratory. The ISS, which has been in orbit since 1998, has also been the home of amateur radio on the International Space Station, or ERIS, since late 2000, when the first ham radio contact was made with the Expedition 1 crew. According to various media reports, SpaceX will design the deorbit vehicle and set the stage for safe dismantling and disposal away from populated areas on Earth. NASA hopes that it will find its final resting place somewhere in the Pacific Ocean between New Zealand and South America. This is Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
This is a reminder to all amateur radio clubs that the deadline is fast approaching to apply for an ARRL Foundation Club grant. You only have until Friday the 26th of July to send in your application. Clubs can apply for as much as $25,000 to support initiatives that are designed to nurture the development of ham radio operators through education and training and to motivate hams through promotion. Clubs do not have to be affiliated with the ARRL, nor do they have to be 501c3 nonprofits. For additional details about the Foundation Grant Program, see the link in the text version of this week's Newsline script. You'll also find an application form there. The Bosnia and Herzegovina IARU Member Society is on the air as E7100 Radio. The Society is marking 100 years of amateur radio innovation, community, and advocacy. See QRZ.com for details about a printable QSL card. The Tour de France is being commemorated by special event call sign TM111TDF, marking the 111th edition of the famous cycling race. Listen on the 17th through to the 21st of July on the HF bands. QSL via F8GGZ. Listen for special event stations during Euro 2024, the 17th edition of the UEFA European Football Championship. They're on the air through to the 14th of July. Each call sign suffix spells Euro, E-U-R-O. Listen for DL2024E, DL2024U, DL2024R, and DL2024O, QSL via the Bureau. Listen for Zolt, operating holiday style as S79/HA8PX from Mahe, IOTA number AF024 Seychelles, from the 5th to the 10th of July, using mainly CW. He may use some SSB and FT8. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Amateur Radio Newsline is proud to announce the winner of the 2024 Bill Pasternak WA6 ITF Memorial Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award. Mark Abramovich, NT3V, is chairman of the award program and has the story.
Wow. Thank you so much. And that was the reaction of Grace Papay, K8LG of Holland, Michigan, near Grand Rapids, our 2024 Young Ham of the Year. Grace is 18 and the daughter of Doug Papay, K8DP, and Carrie Papay, K8CLP. Grace says her dad encouraged her a few years ago to become a ham like someone else very special in her life.
So I got licensed originally to honor my grandfather. My grandfather is Kilo 8 Yankee Sierra Echo. He was celebrating 60 years of being an amateur radio operator, and then I got involved in amateur radio satellites. I got on the air, and now it has turned into something from honoring my grandfather to a hobby I'm on every day and I love.
It was March 2021 when Grace earned her tech license. A year later, Grace passed her extra class license test. Proud Grandpa John Papay, K8YSE, a well-known operator in the ham satellite community, sparked his granddaughter's ham radio extraterrestrial exploits, including encouraging her to earn her DX Century Club Award for contacts exclusively via satellites.
Amateur radio satellites is what I've been very involved with since day one. It's very important to me because anyone can do it with a tech license, and you can talk around the country and around the world with amateur radio satellites, so you don't have to be stuck to your local repeater.
But then came opportunities to attend Youth on the Air camps in Cincinnati in 2022 and Ottawa in 2023.
Being able to learn from other youth and having someone that can teach you that's around your age and understand where you're coming from was really helpful.
Those experiences, she says, encouraged her to pursue even bigger adventures in the world of contesting.
I've been able to be a part of many single-op operations from my home, as well as multi-ops from K3LR and Japan 62 Kilo in St. Lucia. And those have been great experiences for me to learn. But one of my favorite contests that I'm most proud of currently is the ARRL DX sideband contest, where the raw results had me first place for my section and category.
Grace has been a regular speaker in recent years at the Dayton Hamvention Youth Forum and has been volunteering at the Yoda and AMSAT booths. Just weeks ago, she spoke at the Dayton Hamvention Contest University Forum. Grace just graduated with honors from Holland Christian High School in Holland, Michigan, and is enrolled this fall at Cedarville University, Cedarville, Ohio, the alma mater of both of her parents. Her plan is to study electrical engineering, a career path, she says, opened by her amateur radio hobby.
I want to be someone who makes the future better, so being able to create something that could help somebody or create something that will help the safety of our country is really important to me.
We here at Amateur Radio Newsline have no doubt we'll be hearing a lot about Grace in the months and years to come. Congratulations, Grace. I'm Mark Abramovich, NT3V.
And my congratulations as well, Grace. If a good day of radio is like poetry to you, pick up a pencil and join the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. Share your experience by sending an original haiku to us here at Newsline. Use the entry form on our website, arnewsline.org, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. Sorry, we cannot accept any entries that aren't written in traditional haiku form. Share with fellow listeners the poetry that is inspired by your ham radio experience. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, ARRL, BBC Science Focus, Bobby Graves, KB5HAV, Carlos Gonzalez, CO2JC, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, EHAM, Forbes, 425DX Bulletin, Hurricane WatchNet, NASA, National Hurricane Center, QRZ.com, Radio World, Radio Society of Great Britain, Scientific American, shortwaveradio.de, Weather Channel, Youth on the Air, and you, our listeners, that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org, and know we appreciate you all. We also remind listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Jim Cameron, NATMW in Charleston, West Virginia, saying 73. And happy birthday, and God bless America. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is W03X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
W8VPV. Repeater TL110.9.
This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, confirming each call 1 at a time. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until the action slows down. Then I'll go 1 at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, I will repeat the announcements and then give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. The frequency will be on 10 meters at 28.360 megahertz. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. Here are the announcements. Okay, this Wednesday, that's the day after tomorrow, is our gathering, and you can also join on Zoom, and it's at 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, July 10th, and in person it will be at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ. The address is 130 Broad Boulevard in Cuyahoga Falls, but you get to the entrance, which is off the parking lot, and the parking lot is on 2nd Street, south of Broad Boulevard. We're also asking that for each gathering that we have in person, that you bring, when the gathering is at that facility, that you bring one canned good as a donation. Let's see, again, that's 7:30 p.m., July 10th, at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ. Let's see, and let's see, there is a Ham Fest, the Norse Fest, July 20th. That's at the Lorain County Community College, off of Abbey Road. let's see here. That's about all that I have in the way of announcements. So, are there any officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Okay, not hearing any further announcements. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
Whiskey 8 Echo Zulu Tango.
W8EZT, I got you, and I think KAPU was in there, right?
That's right.
Okay, Larry, I got you. Another check-in, please.
KF.
KD8YAX.
Bill.
Okay, somebody that has KF at the beginning got covered over by Forrest, KD8YAX, and I assume that Forrest, KD8YAX, is in and out. So the KF call, go ahead.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Bravo Foxtrot Tango. This is Bill.
Okay, Bill, I have you. Another check-in, please.
KE8KVI.
KE8KVI, Ron, I have you. We'll get back with you in a moment here. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Echo 8 Tango Quebec Romeo. KE8TQR Keith in Uniontown.
Okay, Keith, I have you. We'll get back with you in a couple of minutes here. So let's go back to W8EZT. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, good evening, John. Everybody out there. I'll keep this quick. What a heck of a warm night, and wouldn't you know it, my air conditioning looks like it's on the blink. Anyway, the newsletter is running late, and that is directly attributable to me. I'm trying to put a story together with lots of great pictures. A number of club members sent me pictures of field day. Vince, if you're listening, I'm working on this while sweating my behind off. I will try to have it to you by late tonight. It's pretty much all I'm doing, and he wants me now to put the pictures with the text, so I got to weave a story around the pictures. It's a bit of a challenge. And Forrest, if you're monitoring, I will pick you up Wednesday for the meeting at 6:30 as always. Other than that, I don't have a lot to report. As I say, we are going to have an interesting announcement coming up here, and I would hope no more than a few weeks now that I think a lot of Ham Club members will be interested in. In the meantime, dues for the 2024-2025 club year are due. We would appreciate your support. And that's all I've got. And of course, we do have a meeting this Wednesday. Back to net, W8ECT.
Yeah, very good, Frank. And don't forget to take your trash out there. You know, you might think of it in the middle of the night there, which is no fun. I've done that a couple of times. Okay, very good. Next is Larry, K8PU. Go ahead with your comments.
Good evening, John. Everybody on the net. Got some folks here, so I'm going to get back to that. But wanted to check in, and I'll get you on 10 meters at 9:30 for sure, and I'll let you get on with the net here. So back to you, John. W8VPV, K8PU.
Okay, Larry, that's 28360 for the 10-meter net. Thanks for checking in, and I'll be listening for you later. Let's see, KD8YAX Forrest was in and out, and Frank will be picking him up to take him to the meeting Wednesday. So next is Bill, KF8 KFT. I guess I got that right. I'm a little bit scribbly here.
That's okay, John. This is KF8BFT, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Foxtrot Tango. Good evening, guys. And it's a good scorcher today. Spent some time outside working on the half-wave infed. I've had a couple of guys from the club been helping me, Anthony and Paul. Thanks much to them. I've made some headway in trying to get my 10-meter band up and running. But other than that, I'm just happy to be retired and have this hobby and starting to really get into listening to all you guys. So God bless and take care. Back to the net. KF8BFT.
Okay, Bill, very good. What polarization 10-meter antenna do you have?
It's my antenna, 130 feet. Infed, and I'm pointing north with the end of it. No pun intended there, but just trying to get it on the air. It seems like I got a lot of noise on it. I don't know, but I can get a lot of other incoming calls on the other bands. But until I get my general license, I can't have privileges on those. So I tend to keep calling on the 28. Hopefully, I can get that tonight. See if I can get some connection. But that's what Anthony and I did. So.
Okay, Bill, well, I have a beam here, a horizontal beam, and I'll point it in your direction there, so that'll be 180 degrees from my place here. So listen for me there, and I'll listen for you. So thanks for checking in, and hope to hear you on 10 meters. Okay, next was Ron, KE8KVI. Go ahead, Ron, with your comments, or let me know if you're in and out.
I'm in this time, John. Hello, and everybody out in radio land. We've been having all kinds of excitement this week. On the 4th of July, I had a nest with robins in it. Their little eggs hatched. My wife had a hanging planter with a wandering Jew in it. And these robins decided to build a home there and laid 4 eggs, and 3 of them hatched. So, of course, my lovely bride, being the motherly type she is, had to go out and buy earthworms, so we've been feeding them.
Oh, okay, very good. I guess the more they're fed, the sooner they'll get big and take off. So that sounds like a good plan.
It's been working for us so far. They're getting bigger every day, and my brother, who's the life expert in the family, he said that they'd probably eat about 2-3 earthworms a day each. So we leave them out, Mom and Dad tear them apart, and then go feed the babies.
Oh, that sounds pretty good there. Very good. Okay. Thanks for that report there. That's nice. So I'll say 73 to you, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for more check-ins.
Echo 8 Uniform India Bravo KE8 UIB John in Maslin.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, this is Kilo Echo 8 Victor Quebec X-Ray. Joe in Akron, I'm going to be in and out tonight, John.
Okay, net standby. Okay, I got KE8 UIB John, and I got KE8VQX Joe in and out, and then there's somebody else trying there. We're not hearing any audio. We're just hearing some noise, maybe go up or in elevation or turn around or something, where maybe you receive us better and then we could hear you better. So want to give it another try there. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Okay, I got Zulu Papa X-ray. Let's see. Hold on a second there. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Papa X-ray.
Okay, Jesse, yeah, I suspected that was you. So, that last time it was really good. We'll just take you now. Go ahead while your signal's good.
Thanks, John. I'm just checking
in. Okay, we got you checked in there. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, let's see. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Victor Delta. Tony, Bearman Valley, in and out tonight.
KE8ABD. Okay, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
November 8, Alpha Charlie Papa, N8ACP Chris, Cadillac Hill, Akron, just in and out, 73, John.
Okay, Chris, N8ACP, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Let's see. I'll take one more check-in.
KE8ULA, Leo in Stowe.
KE8ULA, Leo in Stowe. Okay, I'll go back up to the list. We'll get back with you in a couple minutes there, Leo. Let's see. KE8TQR, Keith, did I contact you?
That would be a negative, John.
Okay, go ahead with your comments.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, this is KE8TQR. Good evening, John. Thanks for taking my check-in. And good evening to everyone else here on the net tonight. Good to hear everybody. Well, looking at a couple nets tonight, it's good to hear that everyone had a safe and happy 4th of July. We did here as well. We didn't even have to leave the QTH to watch the fireworks. My neighbors all seem to have them, and they put on a pretty good display, so we're happy about that. The dogs aren't, but that usually happens on 4th of July. They don't particularly like the noise. Other than that, I've been busy around here the last couple days putting up the, well, I'm not putting it up, but I'm putting together the 10-element Yagi, and it's starting to take shape. I've got all the elements on now, and I'll work on extending them on a later day. Hopefully it'll be cooler. But other than that, everything's going well here. I want to wish everyone a great evening, great rest of the week, and be safe out there. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, John. Fine job on the net tonight, and hope you get a lot of check-ins. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless.
Okay, Keith, very good. Well, sounds like you're making some good progress there, so that's good. I'll say 73 and have a good evening. Okay, next was KE8UIB, John in Maslin. Go ahead, John, with your comments. John from K8UID. Everybody out there on the net, just want to chime in tonight, say hello, and hope everybody's week's starting off good. And just playing some radio tonight, checking the net, and doing the Monday night thing as the work week got started. Need to unwind and just relax. So with that, guys, this is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform India Bravo. I'm going to hand this back over to the net. 7-3, y'all. Thanks for running the net, son. Okay, John, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good rest of the evening. Okay, let's see. KE8VQX was in and out, so that takes us to Jesse, KE8ZPX. Go ahead. Do you have any further comments? No, okay, yeah, we already talked with him, so he gave his comments. So next is KE8AVD. Go ahead with your comments.
Doing a quick check-in, listening. This is my whole third contact since I've had my license, so I'm not going to have a lot to say.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Let's see, Chris N8ACP was in and out, so bottom of the list here is Leo, KE8ULA. Go ahead, Leo, with your comments.
W8VPV, KE8ULA. Good evening, John. Good evening, everyone on the net. Not much going on here. Wife and I spent the weekend, well, Saturday, anyway. We went up to the National Museum of the Great Lakes out in Toledo. That was kind of interesting. Good way to spend a Saturday. A lot of good exhibits inside the museum there. History of the Great Lakes and transportation on the lakes. And then when you're done inside the museum, they've got a 600-foot freighter out there called the Schoonmaker. You can go on board and do a self-guided tour of that. You can check out the engine room's pretty cool in there. Pretty nice exhibit there. And then if you still want to see more, there's a tugboat docked out there as well. You can go on board and take a self-guided tour of that. So it was a good way to spend the Saturday. After the museum, we found a great little Irish pub out there downtown Toledo. One of the best Reubens I ever had out there. So that's all I got. So with that, KE8ULA, back to net control.
Yeah, very good, Leo. Sounds like you had some fun there and some interesting exhibits there. So very good. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W3X at the mic. We're asking for check-ins. WTK. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments. We'll go one at a time now.
Another station in there, John?
I don't know, maybe. Is there another station calling? This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor. No, I guess not, Bill. Go ahead.
W8VPV, KA8WTK. Good evening, John, and everybody else on the net. Spent most of this very warm day in the backyard in the shade with my gap antenna laid down on the ground. When we got home from vacation, discovered that wasn't working very well. In fact, it wasn't working at all. It didn't have a low SWR anywhere, and I mean absolutely anywhere, in a ham band or not in a ham band. So I was, working on that down here in the shack, and eventually discovered that not only did I have a problem with the antenna, I have a problem with the coax. I don't know what happened exactly while we were gone, whether something just rusted up finally or some animals got into the buried coax or something, but we think we've got the gap straightened out, although it's everything seems to be a little high in frequency where it's resonant. So we'll be working on that, trying to retune it a little lower, and going to replace the coax. So it was kind of strange to come home and all of a sudden you can't use your radio. So that's about all I got. W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Yeah, Bill. My gap tighten isn't working very well either, and it sort of has the same symptoms like what you described. So I'm going to be tilting that over and taking it apart, seeing what's going on there. So thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
November 8th, Bravo Alpha Yankee, Ralph and Stowe, in and out.
Okay, Ralph, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. That's N8BAY. Thanks. Another check-in, please.
HMS.
K8HMS. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi, John. Hi, everybody. Yeah, just kind of check in and out, unloading my truck with groceries. So anyway, good evening to everybody, and hope you got through this hot day today. It was a tough one out there, but better than out west. My daughter said it's 118 out in Phoenix, so better here. Anyway, that's about it, and hopefully see you at 9:30 wherever the next net is. So back to you, Kate HMS.
Yeah, okay, Steve, we'll be on 10 meters, 28.360 megahertz.
Hey, sounds good. Thanks, John.
Okay, yeah, that'll be upper sideband. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
W8VPV, this is KB8RWZ, Paul.
Hey, Paul, good hearing you. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, John, everyone on the net. It's good to see you and a few others down at the Mansfield Hamfest there. I know it wasn't very big, but it's a nice day for a Hamfest. Other than that, the excitement here, which we had a short power outage here Sunday evening, which goaded me into checking on my generator, which it's decided it needed some work on the carburetor, so I spent some time on that today. Other than that, not much going on. KB8RWZ, back to net.
Yeah, very good, Paul. Yeah, I have to change the oil in our generator here, so hopefully I won't need it before I do that. So I'm going to be busy this week and this weekend, so I won't be able to get to that till next week sometime. So hopefully that hurricane remnants coming through here won't cause a power outage. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. We'll be on 10 meters here on 28.360 megahertz at 9:30. Maybe I'll hear you then. So thanks for checking in, Paul. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
Kilo 8, Bravo, India.
K8BI, go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
Good evening, John, and everybody else listening. Just thought I'd give you one for the numbers. Turned out to be a beautiful day, although a little bit hot. Got a few things done, and nice to be able to relax this evening. That's about it. We'll look forward to seeing everybody down the road in the future, and everyone have a great day and a great week ahead. W8VPV, this is K8PI.
Okay, Bill, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Maybe I'll see you out there on one of my walks or something. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any at this time. I'll repeat the announcements. Okay, so this Wednesday, that's July 10th, is our monthly gathering, and you can join the gathering either in person or on Zoom. So in person, well, it starts at 7:30. So in person, we meet at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard is the address, but you get to the door, which is just off the parking lot. And the parking lot is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. And we're asking for a one canned good item as a donation to that facility where we meet. Let's see. And actually, that's all that I have in a way of those kind of announcements. But there's a Ham Fest on Saturday, July 20th. And it's the Norse Fest. It's up at the Lorain County Community College off of Abbey Road. Let's see, and there's the Warren Ham Fest is in August 18th. Okay, so that's all that I have in a way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins.
W8EZT.
Go ahead, Frank.
Did you mention the meeting this Wednesday? I just walked in.
Yeah, the meeting this Wednesday is at 7:30 p.m. at the usual meeting place, and it's also on Zoom.
Okay, topic-wise, we are going to be reviewing Field Day. We'll have discussion about it. We'll be wanting to solicit ideas from people participating in it, thoughts for next year. We want to just put anything that went right, anything that went wrong down on paper, so people that work it next year have a starting point. I think Anthony's got some scoring information for us and making some assumptions about last year, how good we did this year. So hopefully you can attend either in person or via Zoom. All right, that's all I got. Back to that W8ECT.
Okay, Frank, thanks. Yeah, very good. Yeah, we'll be discussing the field day activity that we had there a couple weeks ago. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins.
KF8
Let's see, KE8, was that, go ahead with the suffix, was that CSC?
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Foxtrot Victor.
Oh, okay, let's see, yeah, BFT, oh, Bill, yeah, go ahead, Bill.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Foxtrot Victor. I have a very similar call sign to Bill, with 2 letters off, so this is first time meeting up, and congratulations to you all for hearing me.
Oh, okay, KF8BFV. Okay. Yeah, Go ahead with some more comments.
Yeah, I tried to get up and reach you guys last Monday, but all I got was static, so I'm up on the 3rd floor of my house today, and I'm really glad that I could reach you.
Okay, well, you're coming in good, so that helped. So very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Good to hear from you there. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins.
I'll pass on that in 73DL.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for checking in. We got you on the log here. Okay, last call for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is W8VPV, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 20 check-ins, counting myself, and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:08 p.m. local time. 7-3.
And I don't have the call sign. The station that just made their first contact with us, tried last week but had too much noise, was able to get up to the 3rd floor and made a contact tonight. If you're still out there, come on back, please. My name is Frank, W8EZT. All right, nothing heard. W8EZT, clear, monitoring.
W8EZT, KPI.
Station calling. Go ahead. W8EZT here.
Audio is a little scratchy there, Frank. Sounds like almost like a loose conductor. This is KBI Bill. Per your request a while back, I was watching, dug out the service monitor and put it on my outdoor antenna. Results look pretty good. Looked like the 147.27 transmitter, it's about, seemed like it was rock solid 225 cycles below 147.27, pretty much stayed right on. And looks like, it was hard to tell without better instrumentation, but it looks like the CTCSS was set for about 300 hertz or so deviation. Sounds about right. Audio peak deviation was around 5 to 6 kilohertz. That looks good too. Break. 444.85 was pretty much the same. It was a little closer, right around 200 hertz below the optimum frequency. So everything was looking pretty good by my book.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's been several years since I've really checked things out. We got a call or we got a complaint on the air, and I'm not in any way negative towards the guy, but I thought this thing was on 147.270. You're on 147.260 or so, not that far off, but 265 or something, and he was right. We had drifted, so yeah, I went up there with a service monitor. Well, it was before COVID now, so 6-7 years ago, and got it as close as I could based on the calibration I had, and it's good to hear it's not too far off then. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. Of course, that was over the air, so you know it's subject to transmission effects, but you know I'd say the carrier here on both was about minus 40 dBm. So it's a pretty solid signal, so I think you could sort of discern some fairly decent stuff from it. It'd be a lot better to plug right into the transmitter, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. And yeah, I remember I heard that guy complain it was off by like 500 cycles or something or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's close enough for jazz usually, but just be glad you have a repeater. But yeah, looking good.
Yeah, very good. We have some maintenance we want to do up there this summer. We want to replace that station master. That thing, I think, goes back to the late 70s and has taken all manner of abuse from winds up there. And I don't know if you've heard on the net. I know I'm crackly. I have a bad antenna too, and I've got a hornet nest in the way right now. So until I knock out the hornets, I'm not going to get a chance to mess with the antenna. But as far as the repeater antenna, we want to replace that. We may have a coax issue. The jumper from the hard line to the antenna may have some issues, but you can hear crackling in there characteristic. It doesn't show up when the repeater is generating the speech, but when it's coming in through the receiver, there's crackling indicating some kind of electric galvanic breakdown or some kind of arcing in the signal path on the power side.
It might just need some cleanup with some Pro Gold or whatever. Boy, the Keg Labs, the DP5. I use that all the time to clean up stuff. DP5 and then the full string stuff, the DP100. That works miracles on scratchy stuff. I even used it to clean up a friend's Honda Insight. Those ground wires that are always so problematic under the hood hit where it connects to the body with the D100. Boy, that fizzed up. But put the grounds back on, and everything was working perfect. So I would swear by that stuff. I first heard about it from audio nuts, which I always take stuff they say with a grain of salt, but they were right. It used to be called Cramelin, and it was two-part stuff in the old days. Now it's just a single treatment thing, and that stuff really works. It's worth it.
I will certainly keep that in mind while I'm not radio officer. I'm certainly willing to join the team and do this. So when we get ready to do it, I'll certainly reach out for your advice and where to get some, or maybe get a sample or something like that. I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, of course, but I'm pretty sure that the station master, it's a collinear, and over the years the wind up there has whipped it around enough to, I
I suspect break some of the junctions inside, and we're hearing them crackle and connect and break up and everything. But we'll see. It's sometime later this summer. Hopefully early fall on a cool summer morning, Sunday morning, and we can get it done in 4 or 5 hours. I think that's all we really have to do. May try to retune the cavities, but it seems to be doing pretty good as far as signal rejection right now. We just need to get that new antenna up there and maybe a new jumper.
Sounds like a worthy project. The weather's pretty cooperative today, so no nasty effects from the antenna. I think I have heard crackling before, but none today. But those kind of optimal weather conditions, other than kind of hot. But that bodes well that it's pretty warm up there in that penthouse, and everything seemed to be working well tonight.
Yeah, we put 2-3 years ago, Bruce and I put active cooling on the 440 repeater. That thing was getting so hot. It's amazing how durable and bulletproof GE made those Master 2 machines. They go through anything. We put active cooling on that with a thermostat and everything, and now that room can be 95 degrees, and it'll run fine at 110.
That's great. I didn't mean to keep you. You're probably trying to get prepared for the HF net, but I just was going to pass that along. So, yeah, appreciate the answering the call there, and hope your grass mowing and everything goes well. That's something I got to do. I know you got a lot bigger plot to work on than I do, but it's finally sort of dried out a bit here. Can tackle that. Anyways, yeah, have a good week. Maybe catch you around on I don't know. I think it's Michael's AM for Friday. That's still slightly up in the air, but I think that's where it's levitated to. But anyways, yeah, have a good week. W8VPV.
Well, good, Bill. Good seeing you last week, and yeah, I think it's going to be Michael's AM. We'll give it a try, see what the menu does, try 2 or 3 others, and then see what the consensus is. Of course, my bias is toward this one, but that's because it's just right down over the valley. So we'll see. All right, guys, have a good one. Appreciate the update, and yeah, I'm going to try to hit the 10-meter net tonight. W8EZT, I will be clear. Thanks, Bill.
BO3X.
Go ahead, John.
That guy, I copied his call sign wrong, but I figured it out. That's Jared up in Cleveland. KF8 Bravo Fox Zulu.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to offer him an example of radio technology that at these frequencies, because the wavelength tends to travel mostly line of sight, how much elevation going from the first to the third floor really helps. I was going to see if I could work him on the 440 side, but maybe he'll check in next week now that he's been able to. Of course, up in Cleveland, there's probably a bunch of other repeaters he can hit a lot easier. But good to hear another ham in there. Thanks, John.
Yeah, he's on Lake Avenue. I don't know where that is. It may be more toward the east side, so a little closer to us.
Okay, well, I certainly hope that we can get this antenna swapped out this summer and get the gain back that I think we're lacking, and a little bit better SWR, and some of these on the edge connections should be coming through pretty good. I know I took my, I'm using Jim O'Neill's rig right now, checking it out. Jim Owens, our secretary's rig right now, checking it out. Took it over to my sister's down in New Franklin and was able to get through on both bands on 5 watts. So it's not too insensitive, but I think we can do a little bit to improve it, and definitely want to get rid of that crackle.
Yeah, okay, very good. So I'll let you go then, so you can get your stuff done there that you're trying to get done. And like I said, don't forget to put the trash out.
You know, I had to laugh when you said that, because I probably 3 or 4 times have woken up at 4 in the morning realizing, oh, damn, is it worth it to get up, get dressed, put the bag out, drag it out to the street, and then get back in bed and try to resume sleeping? Or is it all dry trash and it can wait another week?
And most of the time, it can wait another week at 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, we have those wheelie carts there, so yeah, I had to wheel it out in the middle of the night there. So, okay, very good. So have a good time there, and maybe I'll hear you on the 10 meters here.
Yep, I'll be up there in just a couple of minutes. W8EZT, I'll be clear.
W3X, clear this frequency.
Port link off.
is the frequency in use. This is W8VPV. Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday Night Band Exploration Net. My name is John and my call is W8VPV. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This band exploration net meets every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. local time, preceded by the VHF-UHF net and at 8:30 and amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. The frequency of this band exploration net is on our calendar, www.cfarc.org, and it's on the right side. Scroll down to the date and you'll see the frequency for the 9:30 net. When checking in, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. Also, let me know if you have any comments or traffic for the net, or if you're checking in and out. I will start with announcements and then call for officers or members who have items for the net. When all have checked in, I will repeat the announcements, and after that I'll give one last call for check-ins and then close the net. Okay, here are the announcements. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, our gathering, will be this Wednesday, July 10th at 7:30 p.m. In person, it will be at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ that has an address of 130 Broad Boulevard, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. But you get to the entrance from the parking lot, and the parking lot is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. Again, it starts at 7:30, and we would like you to bring a canned good with you as a donation to the facility where we meet. Now, if you can't come in person, it's on Zoom, also at 7:30, and the link can be seen on our website again, www.cfarc.org, and click on the date. Scroll down to the date, and the link will be on the calendar for that date, July 10th. The topic, we will be discussing our field day operation, how it went, and what could be better, what didn't go so good, and to help us improve for next year also. So any ideas that you have, we'd like to get them written down. So come on to the meeting there. We have some snacks there and some refreshments. So again, in person, it's at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, and that starts at 7:30. Let's see. The only other announcement that I have is that there's a Ham Fest on July 20th. That's a Saturday. That's the North Fest up in Elyria. It's on the Lorain County Community College campus, and that's just off of Abbey Road. Let's see here. So that's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Are there any officers or members who have items for the net? Okay, not hearing any. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. I'll just go one at a time here.
Hey, John, W8VPV here. Check me in. I'm going to go run do the trash.
Okay, W8VPV. Go take the trash out. Thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar. Go ahead, Vince.
Good evening, John. Frank, if you're still listening, I'm still waiting for the article. If you're not listening, well, I'm still waiting for the article. Other than that, I don't have anything. The newsletter is slightly delayed until I get the last article regarding Field Day from Frank. Other than that, AC8XL back to net.
Yeah, okay, Vince. Yeah, he said on the 2-meter net that he was going to get that to you today, this evening. He's working on it. He's taking the trash out so that he doesn't forget to take the trash out, and he'll be sending you that newsletter article real soon this evening.
W8VPV.
Go ahead, Frank.
Can I go direct to Vince?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Vince, my apologies. Blame it all on me. I'm trying to weave a story in between the pictures that I have, and I have lots of pictures, but this is the first time I've done this, and I'm not that good a story writer, and I'm having trouble getting the line up. But I will have something for you late tonight. I've got to get it done. I've dragged it on long enough now, so I'll have a story, some pictures, and a bunch of pictures with maybe 1 or 2 line captions below them. But I will get that to you. Back to that W8VPV.
Okay, Vince, you heard it there. Hey, Frank, when I'm doing that, I use Word, or there's this other Word-like thing on my Windows 7 laptop, and it's real easy to put pictures in there and then put a story after them, or something below it. Over.
Do you know what it's called?
Let's see. It looks like Word, and the title starts with Word, but it's like Word. It's not Word Star. It's Word something.
All right, I'll look around on my machine. I do have LibreOffice. I do have an old copy of, Word Perfect, I believe it was. But, I'm probably 2/3 done now on what I've got. I just need to finish it up. So I will be in there, and I will try to get it to you tonight, Vince. I apologize for the delay, and you can all plug me at Wednesday's meeting.
Okay, I'm sure he heard that. I remember. It's called Word Starter. Word Starter, and it is it's just like Word. So that's what it's called, Word Starter.
Thanks, John. I'll go look for it. Appreciate it. Back to that W8VPV.
Okay, very good. I hope that helps. So thanks for checking in, Frank and Vince, So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W03X at the mic asking for check-ins. Let's see, KE8TQR. Let me, well, I had the antenna pointed towards Medina because I'm going to try to get that one guy check, see if we can get him. But I can hear you, Keith. If you can hear me, go ahead. Okay, thanks, Keith. I got you there, so thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, I'm going to go to the horizontal here, and it's pointed toward Medina to see if we can get one of the guys that wants to try to check in. This is 58 Victor Papa Victor, net standby. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor on the horizontal pointed toward Medina, asking for check-ins. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Good evening, Paul. I hear you there. Thanks for checking in. What's going on there now? Okay, Paul, let's see, what was his call sign? Okay, yeah, so that's Bill, KF8BFT, okay. Okay, well, I'll give him a call here right after you. So thanks for checking in, 73. Have a good evening. Okay, KF8BFT. KF8BFT, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Do you have a copy? No copy on KF8BFT. So, okay, I'm going to go back to the vertical antenna. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, net standby. Okay, we're back on the vertical now. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in.
KA8WTK.
Okay, I heard Larry and Bill. Let's see, KATU and KA8WTK. Bill, go ahead, Larry, and we'll get back with you in a moment there, Bill.
Oh, just I had one for the numbers, John. Nothing exciting here. Just ask you And the ones in your meetings save me a seat. You know how it gets. And no one will have to go back room and stand. Okay, let's get over there to Bill, see what Bill's doing interesting today. Was it, you got that thing, what's Bill up to? Okay, we'll see what Bill's up to. Back to you, John, W8VPV, gate 2.
Okay, Larry, yeah, you didn't need the sun lamp today. Okay, so, Bill, KA8WTK, yeah, what have you been up to? How's that gap tighten coming along?
Yeah, W8VPV, KA8WTK. Well, John, here's the deal. When I got home, I couldn't seem to tune anywhere using the gap tighten, except 6 meters, believe it or not. And so I hooked up my MFJ unit down here and checked, and the SWR was pegged absolutely everywhere, from the bottom that I could tune to as high as I could tune. Couldn't find any resonant points anywhere. Even 6 meters didn't seem right, and the antenna shouldn't work there anyway. So then I said, okay, maybe something's wrong with the MFJ or something else. So I hooked up my Nano VNA and looked at it. No, there's no sweet spots anywhere. So I went out and disconnected the coax at the bottom of the gap, hooked it up. No sweet spots anywhere, nothing where it was resonant. It was like the coax, something was disconnected. And I said, okay, well, maybe that's not everything, so let's put a dummy load on the end of the coax and go into the shack and check that. Well, the coax is bad also. I've had this happen before with that coax, and I don't remember how I corrected it. But anyway, with the antenna, what I ended up doing was laying it down and going up to the top end and looking at where that capacitor is at the top underneath that dust cover. And the connectors looked good, but I got in there with some deoxit and cleaned them real good. I took some sandpaper and cleaned up the antenna at the top and where the screw goes in and the little ring terminal up there and everything. Put that all back together. And judging by the pictures in the instruction manual, the loop counterpoise bracket was upside down. So I flipped that over and lowered it down like it shows it in the manual. And I stood the thing back up and I thought, well, that's it for the day. I'm done. I'll go in. And then I got curious between dinner and the night and went back out there and hooked up the MFJ right at the antenna at the end of its coax. And I do now have resonance points just at the top of each band all the way up through the amateur bands. So I'm going to work tomorrow with getting apparently that something was wrong up there at their top. I'm going to work with the counterpoise and move and change it. And I moved it down. I'm going to move from where it was, judging by the pictures in the manual where it should be. I'm going to move it back up where it was and see if the resonance points drop on all the bands. So a little bit of experimentation here and see if we can't get it to straighten out, but I think I'm on to something, and I'm just going to run a new coax up to it and be done with it. I'm not going to try and figure out what's wrong with the other one. Just cut off each end and pull up what I can out of the ground and be done with it. So that's about where I'm at, John. So if you get to working on yours, check up there at the very, very top. Back to net, W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Okay, Bill, I went to the horizontal here, the beam. I can hear you better. I could hear you okay, but just for the tail, I went to the beam. So, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I've moved that counterpoise around. Not recently. Actually, not on this one. This is the first one I had, and I had sold it to Dave Filing, and then bought it from his wife after Dave became a silent key, and put it back up. And but meanwhile, so I guess that's been at least 10 years in between. So yeah, I just put it back up like last year. But in between time, I had acquired another Gap Titan, and then I eventually sold that one. But so now back to the first one that I had, and it's not acting the same as it did when I first put it back up recently. So yeah, I'll check that stuff at the top there. I noticed that it was way up. Actually, the best spot was like over 4 megahertz for 80 meters. So maybe something did happen up there. Okay, so thanks for checking in there, and thanks for the story on that. I'll be checking mine pretty soon. So 73, and have a good evening, Bill. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. I'm going to go back to the vertical antenna so it's not so directional. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
Recheck on W8VPV.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
I just watched my S-meter as you switched antennas, and when you went back to the vertical, very little change. Slight improvement, maybe a half a dB or something like that. I don't know which direction you're pointed, but just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I had the beam pointed southeast, so it was actually you were getting the signal off the back of it.
Okay, well, like I say, the current antenna now is maybe a half a dB better, but both are doing good. All right, I'm going to get going. W8EZT, thanks.
Okay, Frank, very good. Thanks for the report there. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Well, I'll mention the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-in. So the announcements, this Wednesday, that's July 10th at 7:30 p.m., is our gathering for the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, and we're going to be talking about our field day operation there, how we did, what could be improved, what was pretty good, and so we can improve for next year. Also, there'll be some score information, I'll get on the number of contacts. Let's see, and so it's been requested by President of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club that we each bring a canned good to the meeting in person, and so that will be a donation to the facility where we meet there. And where we are meeting is the Pilgrim United Church of Christ on 130 Broad Boulevard is the address, but you get to the meeting by going in the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard, and then the door is over in the corner of the building there off the parking lot. So 7:30. And if you can't attend in person, then attend on Zoom. And everybody can watch the Zoom meeting and participate. We can hear you if you want us to hear you. And again, it's at 7:30. and the link is on our calendar. Go to July 10th on the calendar. The website is www.cfarc.org. That's Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club.org, CFARC.org, and the calendar is on the right side. Scroll down to July 10th, and the link will be right in there. We'd be glad to see you on the Zoom side there. Let's see then, the other announcement is that there is a HamFest July 20th up at Lorain County Community College, just off of Abbey Road. That's the Nords Fest. Let's see, so that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So with that, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Last call for check-in. November 8th, Uniform Kilo Mike. Okay, we got you. Thanks for checking in. 73, and have a good evening. Are there any other last check-ins? Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Last call for check-in. Okay, well, I don't hear any. So, in preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. As mentioned earlier, this band exploration net meets every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Next week, the frequency will be on 40 meters. On or about 7.187 megahertz. We usually have to move up a little bit, so the frequency will be announced close to that band exploration net time on the VHF repeater on 147.270 megahertz. Let's see, so please feel free to check in regularly, even if only for a moment. All comments are welcomed and valuable to us. This has been John, and my call is W8VPV, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net and return the frequency to normal, customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:59 p.m. local time with 8 check-ins counting myself. 7-3.
yet. I'm tempted to try it to see if it'll still come in before the end of summer, but you know, I got the yard to mow now.
Yeah, roger that. Well, I'm glad it's going well what's in the ground at least. Should have some good weather here. Rain and warm temperatures, sunny days.
Yeah, that definitely helped. It was kind of funny though tonight. The one area that I was working was weeds was probably about 18 inches tall, and they was coming out of the ground fairly easy. And I started at one end, and when I finally got to the other end, usually I'll chase a toad to the end. And today I looked down and I got to the end of the road and I up the last weed. He was sitting on it, underneath of it. He was about a half-inch long. He had one little toad for the whole garden. I thought that was funny. Yeah, I have put a toad house out there before and kept it watered and kept it moist and stuff like that. And it does attract them. You know, they can keep a few bugs out of the garden, not many.
How's your back been doing?
It's not too bad. Right now I've been taking it easy quite a bit, and actually it's not hurting right now, even after pulling all of the weeds tonight. It'll probably get better until I go get the MRI, and they'll say, well, we can't find nothing, and you're okay, and blah, blah, blah. We'll see. The 30th of July. Like that. Oh, yeah. I got to get online and do a practice test or a couple. The whole crowd in there at one time in an awfully long time, and most of the time the evening between sundown and probably midnight I'm sitting around here anyway, but I have really like both radios on and don't hear much traffic, that's for sure. Absolutely, I get it. Yeah, always come home for vacation a day early so you can regroup. That's great. Sounds like a good time for sure. it's great to visit. Maybe you'll have to move down that way. Yeah, once you get established, you're like an old weed. His roots go deep. It's hard to leave. Comfort is the name of the game. So, okie dokie. Anything else going on?
Absolutely not. Just sitting on my desk doing nothing. Watching some shows on the computer. Resting today. I think I took 2-3 hours worth of naps throughout the day. Back on the boat. Getting ready tomorrow's grocery shopping day. Then phase one, packing for a 8 o'clock departure Thursday morning.
SQQ and ACP, good evening, Joe.
And hello, Chris. What's happening? This is Kilo Charlie ATR, Quebec.
Hello, Joe. Hello, Chris, number one.
I think he went to swing on the refrigerator.
Roger, not a bad idea. You keeping cool, Joe?
Yeah, I just come in from outside. It was a nice evening out there. Take a little break from out of the garden and came inside.
Very good. Yeah, they said it was going to be quite warm and humid today, and it was warm, but it wasn't too bad up here on the hill. We will always get a nice breeze up here on Cadillac Hill, so I didn't feel it was too bad today.
It wasn't too bad after this. Brought it from about 6:30, 7 o'clock on. I got shade on my garden, so that helped quite a bit. When I went out today at 1 o'clock to work in, it was crazy. It's too hot, and I come back inside.
Yeah, high noon. Yeah, give that a break. I don't have much of a garden this year, but the garlic's doing fine. Keep watering that, and there's some other stuff in that bed. And that's about all I got this year. Next year I got bigger plans.
Yeah, I didn't plant my garlic till this spring, so I'm not expecting too much out of it.
Yeah, you might get some scapes. That's what I'm getting, and that's all I hope for. And next year I'll get involved. Hello, Chris. One. I did a little bit, but just the ones that ran across my path. It's too easy, to be honest. I don't want to denigrate the contest or the event, but it's just kind of too easy. So whoever I heard, I gave them some points, or I don't know. It's not really a contest. I just worked them, and I was more interested in DX. I did not get the two foreign stations, the one from England, the one from France. Nice, congrats. Yeah, they were. I worked a couple of them on 40 and 80, and the 80 guy was so loud I had to say hi. So, yeah, I usually don't work it, to be honest with you. It's just like, I don't know. I usually don't do it, but I don't know how many I got. I wasn't even keeping track. Yeah, no, it's very popular, and they get some good pile-ups. And like I said, I don't want to say anything bad about it. I just don't usually do it. So let's see what else is going on. You're taking a trip soon, right? I wish you safe travels. Roger that. Yeah, right after the hurricane. Well, it's over by Texas now, and it'll be coming up our way Wednesday, I think. So, yeah, you should be free and clear. Go ahead, Joe. N8ACP.
Oh, I'm just listening. Go ahead. KC8S2Q.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't have too much either. The DX was not very good this afternoon. I mean, I got Slovenia and Ukraine last night, and a couple stations from Russia. The bands have been long at night, 20 meters and 15 and 17, but just not absolutely great propagation. Looks like it was coming around on a Harley. That's the first. I thought I was the only one with a Harley up here.
Yeah, most of my DX is listening to John when he gets off work.
Yeah, I think that was just the guy doing the loop, because there's one way in here and one way out, essentially. And it was a nice, like, Road King or something. I don't know, it had the big headlight in the middle and the two on the side. That's all I caught as it went by. He was spinning his wheels, but that's funny. Yeah, that's the only other Harley I've ever seen up in here.
Now you know how them guys on them Harleys are. They like to show off.
I'm just happy mine's running. Yeah. Well, you know the best way to blow that dust off of it is get out and ride it.
I think I'm going to put some rototiller signs on the back of it and ride it up and down and through the garden.
There's an idea. I was laughing because I don't have a rototiller. I had to borrow my brother's this year. And I didn't do anything with it because people were busy stealing my sling. I didn't take care of that. But that's something I never thought of. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
I'm going to look for it on YouTube, see what I can find.
Oh yeah, somebody has to have done that before. But that's a great idea. Pretty short video list too, I think, when you punch in Harley Davidson rototiller.
Altimeter 3003 inches of mercury. Remark, density altitude 2300. Jet State University Airport, automated weather observations 021 Niner Zulu.
I got lucky, what was that, a week ago? I think 2 weeks ago, probably about 2 weeks ago now.
Altimeter 3003 inches of mercury. Remark, density altitude 2400. Kent State University Airport, automated weather observations 021 Zulu. Wind